We have created a ChatGPT account and now we can finally start using it. So you go and log in, and this is the screen that you will see. Here you can also already see there are two parts of the screen. On the left side, you will have settings at the bottom part. Let me just move away for a bit. Settings on the bottom part. And on the top part, you have the history of your chats with ChatGPT, or you can always start a new chat at the top. On the central part is where all the magic happens, right? And you always have, when you start a new chat, you always have a couple of examples. It tells you what it can do, or maybe some limitations, right? So let's just start with the question: what is the best SEO tool? We can have exact conversation with the tool. It's not only we send it a question and then it gives a reply and then it restarts. No. If it tells us something, we can ask it to reformulate that or be more detailed on an answer, right? So now it told us that the best SEO tools are Google Search Console, SEMrush, Ahrefs, and Moz. Okay? Let me just zoom into that so you can see all of the results here. Can you tell me more about the first one? And I don't have to say, can you tell me more about the Google Search Console? No, I can say, can you tell me more about the first one? Because he knows what I'm relating to, right? And he tells me more stuff about Google Search Console. If English is not your first language, as mine isn't, and that is of course great in SEO, we can switch it to other languages. Can you please speak only German to me? German is also not my first language, but I'd like to play with languages. He's still answering about the Google Search Console. So while he's answering, we can't really stop it. And that can be a problem. Sometimes when you go and it answers weird stuff out there, you can't really stop it, but that's how it is. And now it's going to speak only German to me. Ich kann gerne auf Deutsch mit dir sprechen. Bitte beachte, dass meine Fähigkeiten in dieser Sprache begrenzt sind, da ich von einem großen englischen Sprachmodell trainiert wurde. Wie kann ich dir helfen? So it's saying that his German is limited, and that's all right, so is mine. And because he was only it, she, whatever the pronouns are, was trained only on a big part in English, right? So using other languages is not as good. The spelling and the grammar in other languages are not as good as in English, but it still does a very good job of preparing most of the content, right? So I can ask it something in German now. Was kann ich essen für gesundes Leben? My German writing is even worse, but it can give me any result in German. And we can see we get all of the results. All right, let's get it back to English. And it is able to do much more than just reply in text. We can, for example, tell him to answer something as a table, right? So he's now replying. Let's wait for the reply. Can you show me a table of all the varieties of rice and tell me their calories and most common usage? So now we want to see a table that is going to tell us what are the different varieties and different information about each variety. And we can see we get rice types: white rice, brown rice, wild rice, basmati rice, calories per serving for each of these, and common usage, right? And all of these things we can always copy and paste somewhere else, right? So, all right, we would like to, let me zoom out, we'd like to use this one in Word because we would like to, so we open up a Word account, a Word document, and we already have a table in Word. Or we can paste that into WordPress or into any other CMS that we are using, and we can directly use this content. Right? Or maybe we can then, because this is a chatbot, we can chat with it. We can always ask it to update the content that it just gave us. So let's update this table and ask it to give us the information on where these rice types are most often grown. Can you add information on where this rice are grown? And it should add another column to the table. See, that's what it's doing. So we have the same information here, but where it is usually grown, each of those rice types that we are seeing. We can also, of course, ask it to program stuff. We've told you that we can get any program, almost any programming language out of it. So if we ask it to program a script to add into with CSS and PHP, these are the programming languages that are mostly used. Can you program a script where I can click on 3 different smileys to select my favorite? Please use PHP and CSS. And now it starts programming. What we have to know is ChatGPT is not able to access any tools, and it's not able to access websites directly. Meaning we can't tell it, okay, go and use SEMrush keyword tool and give us the keyword volumes. It will give you keyword volumes if you ask it for, but they're usually wrong, right? We also can't send it to a website and say, okay, go and check that website and see what is written there. That's not working. But what we always can do is we can give it some information, just paste it into here, into the chat, and then ask it about that information. So I've asked it to give me a list of all of the EU countries. I've used a different chat, so just to make it a difference. And now I'm going to copy and paste this list into Excel, just to show you how that works. And remove one of those countries out of it, and then I'll ask ChatGPT if it can tell me which of the countries is missing. So here's our Excel, we'll paste in there, and we'll remove Germany, just for the fun of it. And let's go back to the chat we were using previously. This is a list of all EU countries, but a country is missing. Which one is missing? And then I paste the list in here. It goes through the list and it's going to tell me, it looks like the country of Germany is missing from the list. Here is the complete list. So no problems of reading the content that we pasted into it and then giving us information, analyzing that content and giving us basic information on what is missing in our list. We can always edit a question, so we can go back here and say, all right, let's edit this question and we'll remove a couple of more countries and we can rerun that question. We can rate questions. We can rate answers. We can rate them good or bad. Just go, all right, this is excellent, or this wasn't really that excellent. And generally, there's when we have the code, there is generally a copy button, so we can copy a code that it gave us just to get it easier into our program. And because we don't want to waste any resources, we're going to take this form that it gave us previously and put it into a WordPress post. Just what was that? That was pick your favorites me. And we have the CSS that we can also paste into the custom CSS. So I've added the HTML into the WordPress, and I can now go to preview and see how that looks like. It's not really gonna look really great because there are other things that I should be doing, but there are a couple of options, smiley, that I can pick, right? We'll work on more on how to generate small scripts and small programs that you can use in WordPress or any other CMS that you're using. But in general, this is how we use ChatGPT. I think it's fair time now to go and check out how we can start using ChatGPT for SEO. Let's go to the next lesson and we'll look how we can use it to generate ideas and do keyword research.